Good day, students, and welcome to News in English with Tutor Tom for the 25th of September 2023. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. So today we're going to talk about the cost of living crisis that is affecting many countries around the world. It's something I'm having a regular conversation about in my one-to-one sessions with my students from all over the world. And that is that day-to-day life is getting more expensive. And what it's doing is it's starting to change the habits of consumers. So today we've got a really interesting article talking about how habits of shoppers in the UK have been changing. So the title of the article is Shopping Habits Have Changed for Good, says Aldi. And Aldi is one of the popular supermarket chains in the UK. Okay, so let's get into the article. The cost of living crisis has changed shopping habits for good, according to the boss of Aldi in the UK and Ireland. Giles Hurley says shoppers are buying more own label products than ever before, and he expects this to stick. Cheaper supermarket own label ranges are enjoying a boom as shoppers try to save money. Aldi overtook Morrison's last year to become the UK's fourth biggest supermarket. Alongside rival Lidl, it has been the fastest growing this year. Products that are sold under a supermarket's own name now make up more than half of everything shoppers buy, by value. If you look in volume terms, that figure is much bigger. And at the moment, own label products are growing at twice the rate of branded goods, says Mr. Hurley. Why would shoppers go back? The vast majority of the products Aldi and Lidl sell are own label. He says Aldi has added nearly 1 million more customers in the past 12 months, and 2/3 of UK households are now shopping with the chain. Aldi has now released its financial results for the year to the end of December 2022. UK sales were up by nearly £2 billion to £15.5 billion. Operating profit also increased to £178.7 million, almost triple the amount it made the year before. Other big supermarkets have reported a drop in profits. Lidl made an annual loss. Aldi said the increase was due to an exceptional prior year when its profit margin fell to an 11-year low of 0.4% after significant COVID-related costs. It's really important to stress that margins in retail are extremely tight, and we are no exception, said Mr. Hurley. Its profit margin, the measure of how much money a company makes on its products after costs and expenses, was 1.2% last year. That's just over a penny in every pound spent in an Aldi store, Mr. Hurley points out. Aldi has now set a long-term target of having 1,500 UK stores, up from 1,200 previously. It opened its 1,000th store in Woking earlier this month and plans to invest a further £1.4 billion in the UK over the next 2 years. Finding the right sites, particularly in the southeast of England and London, is far from easy though. And will shoppers stay loyal to Aldi when this cost of living crisis is over? Some affluent shoppers may well decide to trade up again. Retail expert Catherine Shuttleworth says brands are the lifeblood of innovation in the food and drink sector, but thinks they're going to have to work hard through marketing campaigns to persuade shoppers that their products are worth paying more for. The supermarket's loyalty card pricing schemes will encourage brand participation, and brands should be very eager to showcase their products to millions of shoppers every week in the battle to get us to trade back into brands. For instance, earlier this month, Sainsbury's offered 50% off all Heinz branded products with a Nectar card. But Miss Shuttleworth believes our thrifty approach during the cost of living crisis isn't going to go away anytime soon. Discount shopping is here to stay. So much so that shoppers don't even call Aldi and Lidl discounters any longer. They are their supermarkets of choice. On a visit to an Aldi store on the outskirts of Leicester, where they are testing new ideas, including chiller doors on most of their fresh products to save energy, Giles Hurley dismissed such suggestions from some in the industry that Aldi had now hit peak disruption. There is a huge demand for our offer here in the UK. I frequently get customers writing to me asking for an Aldi store to come to their town or community. We have huge ambitions. His mantra is that Aldi will never be beaten on price. But bigger rivals aren't allowing Aldi nor Lidl to have it all their own way. Competition in the supermarket aisles is as intense as ever, with Tesco and Sainsbury's running Aldi price matching schemes. Food price inflation is now easing but remains stubbornly high, rising 13.6% in the year to August, according to the Office for National Statistics. Supermarkets have been cutting prices on a wide range of products over the last few months. At Aldi, Mr. Hurley said customers would continue to see price reductions in the medium term, but the future was far more difficult to judge given how volatile the last 2 years had been, with commodity costs, energy and fuel prices. That volatility is still continuing. Miss Shuttleworth says the key for Aldi will be to stick to their knitting and maintain a price differential to their rivals. This, which will mean having to accept lower profit margins and driving as much volume as possible. It says it can afford to take a long-term view as a privately owned business. Okay, so a really fascinating article there talking about how everything is getting more expensive. So everyday people, consumers, are now changing their habits. More consumers are buying cheaper products in order to save money. So I'm interested to know from you, what is it like in your country? Let me know in the comments below if you've noticed a large increase in the prices of everyday items such as food, electricity, gas. And what are you doing to combat those rises in prices? And are you noticing that you're looking now for cheaper items when you go shopping? I'd be fascinated to know where you're from and what the cost of living is like in your country. So let me know in the comments below. Anyway, let's go through some of the words. Again, there's loads and loads of wonderful words in this article. I've chosen a few, but there are many more words that are absolutely fantastic in this article that you can now know how to pronounce and to add it into your vocabulary using the words as much as possible in your next few English conversations. So the first word is habits or habit. That is a settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. For example, he has an annoying habit of interrupting me. We looked in the article about shopping habits. That's the word habit or habits. The next word that I absolutely love is exceptional. Exceptional. And that means unusual, not typical. For example, late claims will only be accepted in exceptional circumstances. That's the word exceptional. Innovation. Innovation. Coming up with a new idea, method or device. Or the introduction of something new. That's innovation. The next word is affluent. Affluent. A group or area having a great deal of money, being wealthy. For example, the affluent societies of the Western world. That's the word affluent. The next word is persuade. Persuade, that is to induce someone to do something through reasoning or argument. For example, it wasn't easy, but I persuaded him to do the right thing. The next word is a really cool word, a very cool word that will sound absolutely fantastic if you use it in your English conversations, and that's thrifty. Thrifty, using money and other resources carefully and not wastefully. People are now becoming more thrifty due to everything becoming more expensive, using money and other resources carefully and not wastefully. For example, he had been brought up to be thrifty and careful. That's a lovely word there, thrifty. And then finally, we end with the word discount. Discount. That is a deduction, a reduction from the usual cost of something. For example, rail commuters get a discount on season tickets. Okay, guys, so that wraps us up for the first article of the week. Again, really keen to hear your thoughts about the cost of living situation in your country. So please do comment below. I'd love to speak to a few of you. Until tomorrow,